What's going on, my fly hippie family? It's your boy Izzy, and today we're gonna break down that Kendrick Lamar diss. Now we ain't gonna go word for word, bar for bar, but I'm gonna just basically talk about the big parts that was in it. I know I didn't get all the parts in here, so much to put in here, but for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna talk about some of the parts that I like. Y'all put the rest in the comments, and let's have a good conversation about it. I'm gonna put what I thought was good and bad at the very end of the video, and what grade I give this diss as well, so make sure you stay the whole video, and let's get into it. Alright, so at the beginning, I was kind of confused on how Kendrick was gonna attack. He came in with a slow beat, and I'm like, man, I don't know about this, Kendrick. But then at the same time, it was very masterfully put together. He did a good job making it seem like Drake was paranoid. Now, y'all know when somebody is paranoid or have a lot of anxiety, they end up talking a lot. Hence, Drake making two diss tracks. So, well played. Then he attacks on like how he's white and black. Now, personally, I feel like if you're black, you're black. No matter if you're light skinned, dark skinned, in the middle like your boy, I guess. Then he says, you know, his music teaches the people. You know, your music pacifies the people. I mean, I guess you could take this a couple ways. It babies people. You giving baby food. I'm giving real knowledge and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Then he has some good gunplay. Now, I'm not a big fan of gunplay talk in music, but I understand where he's going with this. He has a Parkinson's line that he brings up. Then he talks about how his homie taught him how to aim a Drake, and he's saying he had to aim it down, and this time he won't miss like he did before his homie taught him how to shoot the Drake. Then Kendrick has like a humorous tone about a lot of the stuff he's saying. What you got twisted? Is it the braids? Very humorous. It's really funny. It's kind of crazy how Kendrick has some play on Drake's feelings. Like he's continuously saying throughout the whole thing, like, I love you, but I will YNW melly you. I also like that Pushin P line, having beef with Pharrell, and then not necessarily following through with Pusha T, which he followed up with another comical line, I'm whooping feet. Yeah, he's basically speaking on like how he want this to be a friendly fade. It's not so deep, you ain't got to get all personal and say all this other stuff. So I really feel like Kendrick not really trying to expose nobody, and I don't think he want Drake to be exposing him or putting his life out there in the streets or on social media. So that's what I felt from the Like That video and the Control. You know, I felt like he just wanted the lyrical box with the top dogs. He ain't necessarily want to start a beef. But then what confused me, and which is why I'm saying, like, I think he's playing on Drake's emotions, knowing he's an emotional person. He gets to saying how much he hate the dude. You know, he kind of goes on, I hate this and I hate that about you. I hate this about you too. And that's like the DMX reference, I guess he was referring to back when DMX was at the Breakfast Club. Then he kind of get on the women that he messes with, saying that they think they real women when they not. And I feel like he does have a point there, but you can't forget that Drake messed with Rihanna and he messed with Serena. Those are two real women right there. Then he starts saying like he's not the only one that feels this way about him. The culture does. So he's saying like that's why it's 20v1, but he also flipped it and said it's 1v20 because I'm fighting your ghostwriters. Then once again he goes back to saying how he liked Drake with the melodies. He don't like you being tough. He like you when you know, singing and stuff like that. So it made me feel like Kendrick really don't hate Drake. He just like rap battling with him or whatever the case may be. But he don't necessarily hate Drake. He don't want to expose him. He don't want to do all this rough stuff. You know what I'm saying? He just want to keep it within the lyrics and keep it fun, I guess. Then he comes out with a Puff line, which I think might backfire because Puff had also squabbled with him as well. Then he comes in with more BBL talk about Drake. You know, BBL Drake, shout out to Rick Ross. Then he goes on to say like how he don't want to even hear Drake say the N-word. Here you go again playing on Drake's emotions. Saying how, you know, he love when he's successful as long as you keep, you know, keep me dancing and keep my hands waving. We good. It ain't no threat. Which made me feel like Kendrick really just having fun with the lyrical boxing, bro. He's not really trying to be serious. Then he comes with more funny lines saying like how he wanna pop his booty with women instead of really being with them. Saying like, oh yeah, you with Sexy Red. I think you don't like women. I think you want to be a woman. You like you look at them like competition. And it gets a little more comical, but a lot more disrespectful. He starts talking about his fatherhood and, you know, how he's a bad dad. And that's tough when you're a father. I know I'll be pissed at somebody saying I'm a bad father and stuff like that, knowing all the things that I do for my kids. But what's funny about it is he's speaking in like a Canadian type of way. So, yeah, it's very comical. Then he goes to saying like, hey, man, don't mention my family. And then he replaces a lot of B's with Brody with C's. He starts saying Crody, which give me the mindset that he's kind of referring to like, hey man, I'm in a Crip gang, you know, I'm in the Crips. One of the main things that I can point out through all of it is basically how he, at the beginning, it seemed like he's very calm and collected. In the middle, he's more so like, okay, all right, we're amping up just a tad bit. Then at the end, he gets really disrespectful. And I feel like throughout the song, he's showing like the levels he can go to, right? He's showing like, hey, I'm calm, I can do this, or I can do this. We can take it into any of these three levels, which one you want. And that's kind of very artistic. I like how he did that. That's very creative, honestly. So let's talk about the good. The good of this track, I would say, is very lyrical, very witty. Definitely has some good punchlines in it. Make you go back and listen to it a few times. Make you think about what he said. It's very funny. I had a good time listening to this diss track. It seemed very comical, very entertaining. So I could definitely say that too. I like the beat. I like the switches. Speaking of the switches, he said 3 switches in the Like That song. So the fact that he followed through with that's what I call paying attention to details and really bringing it, bro. You're really being artistic. It's really direct. It has some subliminal messages in there, but it's still very direct. Now let's talk about some of the cons, okay? I feel like one big con about this is that we already heard most of this stuff, right? Rick Ross and Pusha T kind of softened the blow on some of the stuff that he was saying. Although challenging somebody's fatherhood is disrespectful, Pusha T already made Drake be a better father, apparently. So then, you know, Rick Ross also was saying the BBL and white boys. So it's kind of like he's saying the same thing, just a tad bit in his diss. Then the beat itself. And before y'all say I'm glazing and all that, it's because I think for this generation, like the younger folks who don't really know about lyricism and stuff like that, they're going to hear the beat and kind of turn it off. Not something you want to play in the club and stuff like that. And Drake understood that, so that's why he made it that type of beat. It's something to bounce to while you're listening and stuff like that. So I love it. You know, I love lyrics and I love rap and stuff like that. I like how he did that. I see the creativity that he put behind that. That's going to be his downfall to some of the other ears because they don't understand how artistic that is. They don't understand like how crafted and well put together that is. You know what I'm saying? Overall, I'm gonna give this thing an A. You know, it didn't get an A+ only because I feel like I heard a lot of this stuff already. But at the end of the day, it's still a great diss, very witty, which I didn't expect anything less from Kendrick. I'm not gonna sit here and gas it like some of y'all. Some of y'all was oh, it's over. Drake can't respond. Oh no, he can't even get to this level. I feel like Drake got a bag, man. Drake got some songs that he really showed what he can do lyrically. So, you know, I'm expecting to see something back. And at the end of the day, man, you know, we always got to leave it on something peaceful because that's what this channel is about, man. So, if you have any, you know, disagreements with anybody, man, before you go to social media platforms, just pick up the phone and call that person, man. Don't even text. Text can get misconstrued and all that, man. Just call that person, let them know how you feel, man, and y'all hash it out like grown folks over the phone, man. Don't expose each other over social media. I know this is very fun. This is very enjoyable for hip hop and stuff like that, but yeah, man, it ain't good to get on social media and try to expose your enemies and stuff like that, man. Just simply hash that thing out and move on, bro. Like, life is too short to be having vendettas and trying to get revenge on people. So at the end of the day, man, live in your peace, stay peaceful, man, and you know, keep prospering with success, bro. That's how you squash all the haters, bro. I appreciate y'all for watching, man. If you like any of the gear that you see right here, go to that link in the description below, flyhippieapparel.com, and cop you some, all right? Take care of yourselves. Two.